Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Disco Elysium. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you chose to join me today after we talked to Joyce on some very, very drastic and important things. We have quests done, which is lovely. We also have a lot of skills. It's gonna be amazing. We're in a really good place. Unfortunately, Kim is not with us. That is a problem, because I have been thinking, my plan, and I think I said it outright. Ooh, the damage ledger. I can do it. Nice. And I think I said it all right. My plan was to go... let's see. So we are right now... here. That boat right there. Yeah. We're here in this pier. It's slightly different, but... more or less, we're over there. And my goal... This is the... Oh, the... Oh, this is all different. No, it isn't. It's sort of different. Do you see how this building over here is specifically the doomed commercial area? My goal was to go in there, but the connection is not the same. The building is drawn in a weird way. Either way, we have time to kill, so let's interact with our ledger here.
A crinkled chewing gum wrapper.
But that isn't a ledger. It's this one.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Can I read the case files now?
Yes, at last. You find a way to piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. HDB 41, date of initialization, and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, the next world mural.
Wait, HDB 41, weren't those officer precinct? Or rather, officer and then precinct, the alpha bit and then the numerical one.
Why, yes, your precinct number is 41.
And we noticed this as well because there was a KK 57, if I'm not mistaken, when Kim named a case. He has a line where he... Oh no, it's the main case. Kim actually names the case KK 57, I think, which Kim Kitsuragi is what KK stands for. And HDB...
Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials. Harry Dubois, HDB. Still feels like there's something missing from that.
Fine then, I give up on Raphael.
That's comforting to hear. Now, detective, it takes half an hour to piece one of these together, if you still want to. Here are your options.
I'll do them back home because I have smoked recently, so it's and actually we can tell from there it's actually pure Holidon. It's not smoke, it's doing unspeakable things to things. I can revisit this later, I suppose. I'm gonna put the case files away.
Not much has changed in the meanwhile.
Yep, it's all good. Okay, so that's one thing done. Things that don't require Kim to be with me, and that is what I was saying, is Kim has a volition check that I don't think I can do. There's no checks here. I think what changes... It's like... You see how the legendary bit is like grayed out? Yeah, we can't do these. Gaston, Joyce, Measurehead, and the warded door. Right? Because we should have one for this wall. It's this one. And it shows up as black background. And this one I should be able to do. So what we want to do... Joyce Messier, that is not actually on her. That's on Kim. So what I should be able to do is I should be able to get rid of these and hide them. Because I remember that one. That one is to tell Kim to step aside. And this one is the one to tell Measurehead that I want to be a racist. And the map wall is inside that shop, so we can't do it. The warded door, though, is pointless because we opened the door. Yeah, we should be able to hide some of these. That's a shame. So, backyard wall for conceptualization. Let's see. So if I want to use my psyche, which... Nope. Don't do that. Which is the purple one. I would benefit from bringing my volition up. Maybe. But honestly, a volition doesn't really matter. And the checks are challenging. So what I want to do is maybe bring my suggestion up and ask Lena if she's still around, which she might not be. Let's go and check. Also, I just found out you can control your character using WASD. It is a little bit less wieldy, and you can hold shift to run. I like it. I like it. It's a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit more, no, well, less precise, I suppose. But in a way, it is more precise. It just depends on what you prioritize. Yeah, but Lena isn't here. Oh, that's a shame. Okay. We might read some things after all. I don't want to. I don't want to read things. At least not right now. I'll go in here. And it isn't great that Kim isn't here, but I can live with that, I think. Because we did everything down here. Did we actually do everything down here? I think we did. Let's do this one. I know what it is. So... before I do that, let's go upstairs. Oh, is it a different area? It is. That's alright. I don't want to mess with these things while Kim isn't here. Because he has some interesting insight. As for this... This is where the witch should be. Kim will have some insight, but...
An iron safety curtain curves before your eyes, folded like a bellows. It covers half the room, blocking the way into a colossal industrial chimney. This must be where the entity lives.
I'm gonna knock on it.
What an odd thing to do. Nothing happens.
And I'm gonna knock on it harder.
Still nothing. No one's home.
I'm gonna knock on it even harder. That's bad.
Those curtains prove to be surprisingly sturdy. Your fist hurts now. If this is really an entrance to the chimney, then there must be a furnace somewhere as well. Maybe there's another way to get in.
Thank you, Logic. That was a trivial check.
Bent metal, broken glass. Your path lies strewn with the broken forms of everyday objects. You are the destroyer, the bane of inanimate matter.
Gaze upon me, stuff, and despair.
Kudos.
Anti-object task force. By now, no. Take a look at your hands. See how bruised they are? See those little scars? This is Exhibit A. The material world is holding you back. Containers, mailboxes, doors, chairs, they are all your enemies. Always have been. Atoms themselves are in on the conspiracy, forming shapes and structures that you hate. You are energy stuck in a body. You are a spirit trapped in matter. Break free. Beat up the lamppost. Let it know just how much objects suck. This looks like a good time. I think if I'm gonna be a superstar, I'm gonna need to beat up some objects. Let's unlock this. Let's learn. Also, how long does it take? Oh, you just click over here. 2 hours. Oh, that's just about as much time as I have before the end of the day. Internalize that. And tomorrow, the kick-assing... Kick-assing? Does that make sense? Ass-kicking. That is how it goes. It will commence. Temporary research bonus -2 pain threshold because it hurts. Yes, it does. Hopefully it is good. Anti-object task force. That sounds like bad things. Ooh, a downside of this though. Yeah, you don't want to do what I'm doing right now. You don't want to use WSD. Maybe you can use the controller. Oh yeah, you can use a controller. That's zoom in, that's zoom out. Oh. Wow, the controller is even more zany, so I'll not do that. Yeah, so left bumper highlights objects, and then the left joystick moves you around, and it's always sprint, so it's good.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony.
That's our inland empire. Does it look like it has a face? Ooh, kick it with your foot. I'm gonna hurt myself again, ain't I? I'm gonna look inside the furnace first.
It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other. Near the smoke chamber, upstairs. The echo is so prominent, it's impossible to discern what the voices are saying or what's producing them.
I'm getting carbon monoxide poisoning. That could be. I don't actually know what would poison you the most in coal. I don't think carbon monoxide would be the one unless it was burning. What's happening?
Maybe it's coming from behind those safety curtains you saw upstairs. You should investigate.
I know.
Or maybe you're just hungover again.
That could be it, yes. Let's yell hello into the furnace with my physical instrument.
Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then,
Hello?
You hear a woman's voice answer.
you've awakened the entity.
Hello, are you there? Speak to me.
Hello? Did you say anything?
There's a pause.
I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
You hear a low rumble upstairs. The sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
I'm gonna kick it with my foot. I should not have done that.
A hollow ring echoes through the furnace. Your toe hurts.
Dang it, I'm just the worst. I'm gonna need to buy so many drugs. It's fine. It's good. It doesn't... Yeah. Let's not smear my hands with coal, because I don't really see a reason to do that. But, yeah. I don't know why I would have kicked that. I just feel like if I'm gonna destroy objects, you know, might as well start now. It's very early anyway, so on the day. So... Or on the night, I should say. So I might actually complete that thing and might be able to do something else with the furnace. And here we have one of the most memorable... Everything is memorable, but this one is the most endearing and memorable. One of the most endearing and memorable locations in the game. This tray is full of dice, colorful polyhedron dice. Or polyhedral dice. Hundreds of them. The candy dispenser has been repurposed to contain thousands of dice. I get the impression that maybe not thousands. In there? Yeah, probably thousands. Not down here, though. Hundreds, that sounds about right. Actually, just a dozen of dice fills up a bunch of... you can probably fit a dozen in each one of these things. And they only have like 2 or 3 each. Hi.
Hello. I'm Nia.
A bird-like woman sits on a throne of tools with emerald light shining through her hair.
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Milius.
She taps on her headphones.
So what kind of die are you looking for?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now. She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
Hold on, what do you mean by milieu?
Yes, a milieu is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these.
She pats the headphones on the table.
Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I knocked on the door. You must have me confused with someone else. I haven't knocked on your window.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance?
She blinks.
You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind?
Is it possible to knock on that window? Huh. Why are you asking me about dice?
I'm a novelty dice maker.
She says.
Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her bones light, but her hands strong.
Sure, I like role-playing games and I need some dice.
Very good.
She says.
My rate is 10 real per set, unless you want something really unusual. Take a look around and see if there's any particular stone you want to use.
The walls around her are covered with rows of precious stones and minerals.
This person means you, or no one else, absolutely no harm. She will answer freely and honestly. No falsehoods are present. She's a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to hide. Ask what you need.
How did you become a dice maker?
How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition.
This is very important, actually. It's thematically important. So Plaisance is the kind of person who, well, this actually happens a lot in some parts of the world where people are more susceptible. Well, it happens a lot. Let's just not say some parts of the world. It happens everywhere. People are very susceptible to ascribe supernatural reasons or supernatural reasoning. It doesn't have to be a reason. It could be just a supernatural reasoning to how successful they are in life in regards to their economic and material reality. And when I say supernatural, I mean either it's the doomed commercial area, in this case for Plaisance, or she has a talisman that compels people to buy books, or it's positive thinking, or it's crystals, or there's a bunch of stuff, or just any you can name it, and there's somebody peddling it, and in a international profit-driven market, there's a lot of money to be gained by peddling that sort of supernatural thinking that connects basically non-systemic realities to systemic issues. And when I say systemic, I mean of the system, the issues of the system. What is the system? It's money. We're talking about whether people have money or not. We're talking business here. So systemic issues would be issues with business. And the doomed commercial area has the issue of apparently everybody goes bankrupt. And Plaisance is a metaphorical character. There's a lot of metaphorical characters, or metaphorical might not be the word, but either way, she's a satire character. She's the kind of person that, as I said, ascribes supernatural reasoning to very systemic things. So when she specifically said that she is the reason why it's doomed, and I'm talking she, I mean, when Plaisance specifically said that the novelty dice maker is the reason why this area is doomed, and she called her a witch and all that sort of stuff, it is driven even further by the fact that the novelty dice maker is the only person making any money here in this commercial area. And Plaisance is, as far as I know, just being bankrolled by her husband, and that's pretty much the situation. And she's also exploiting her child and sacrificing her well-being and the well-being of her child for basically a doomed business venture, which is the selling of the books in the way that she's selling it. I'm not really sure how doomed it would be, but either way, the problem is readily obvious, because if Plaisance is thinking about her success in terms of how much magical trinkets she has, then she's not going to make the correct business decisions that will facilitate her actually turning a profit with her operation. But on the other hand, it also, and on the other hand, being the most important aspect of her character and the satirical aspect of her character, is that she's incapable of understanding the simple reality that the success of her enterprise and the enterprise of everybody else in the doomed commercial area isn't a result of their choices as much as it is, or rather, it isn't just a result of their choices. That's important to phrase it correctly like that, because obviously it is a result of her choices, both for Plaisance and for the novelty dice maker, but it is also the result of the economic conjuncture. In this case, in particular, being, I mean, it's Revachol, it's kind of complicated. So it's just a business decision. She was a regular jeweler at first, unfocused field, too much competition, and she just goes straight for the dice. Yeah.
Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there.
Do you like role-playing games yourself?
Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers? They're nice people.
Okay, I'd like to order a die from you.
Of course.
She nods. This is what she's here for.
Tell me what you have in mind.
Do you have any cursed dice?
What do you mean by cursed?
As cursed as this commercial area.
All right. How about I surprise you? Come back in 8 hours with 7 real, and I'll give you your cursed die.
It's a deal?
Great. See you in 8 hours then. Was there anything else?
She takes a small notebook from her table and writes something down. What do you know about the man who was lynched behind the whirling in rags?
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
Who cares about the dead body? We might be dealing with a malignant entity here.
Seriously? You've got a great view of the courtyard and you didn't see or hear anything Sunday night?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
What do you mean by the daily ruckus?
Well, there's always something going on in the whirling's backyard.
She stops to try and come up with an example.
During daytime, there are usually those kids. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike.
She's heard of the murder, but did not see it, sire.
And she looks up at the window. Pale light comes in.
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid.
You never took your eyes off the work to look out the window?
I might have,
She admits.
but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness. It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone.
This person values focus above all. She keeps her sharp sight on the instruments before her.
Do you often work Sunday nights?
It's an odd profession, making dice for people, but I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home.
I see. Thank you for your answers.
She nods.
Anything else, officer?
Hey, where are we anyway? What is this place?
We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know.
She looks at the ruddy bricks that make up the walls. Even though they have been repainted, there are still signs of coal black soot here and there.
But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
And that isn't... Oh, that's why she succeeds. No, that's thematically appropriate. She doesn't pay rent, so she succeeds. It's a commentary. It's a commentary about the landowners.
Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse. When she arrived here, there was no room anywhere else. She must have known the other businesses.
That's our reaction speed talking. I've heard this place is cursed. Did you know that people call it the doomed commercial area?
I've heard the stories,
She nods as the wind howls in from the furnace shaft above.
but I don't think those stories are true.
Plaisance is the one who sent me. She's convinced that the place is swarming with malicious energies.
Plaisance, the bookshop lady?
She raises her brows.
I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow?
And yeah, that is an interesting question. Yeah, she uses, she does, well, there is an answer to that. Plaisance is a wise woman. She has Seminoese trinkets protecting her against the curse.
Ah, the Seminoese trinkets, of course.
She nods, as if this explains everything.
All right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex.
Hold on, the whirling is part of the doomed commercial area?
You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East of the Commerce Central project.
Yeah, but it's still a separate building. The malicious energies can't reach there.
And then there is me.
She sighs. Looking at her messy work table, all kinds of tools lie there, scattered, from knives to carving files to wire cutters.
I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
It's because she's in cahoots with the demons.
Our half-light is always wrong.
Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse.
Drama is often not wrong, but... Plaisance thinks it's because you're the source of it. A malignant entity.
Malignant entity? What does that even mean?
The dice maker laughs.
Some kind of sorceress? What about you, officer? Do you think I'm the malignant entity?
The jig is up. The she-demon knows you've uncovered her true identity. Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
I'm starting to think that there is no curse, only business decisions and natural market fluctuations. I don't think this is a moralist choice, but it is actually kind of close to moralist in the way it's phrased. Let's go with that.
Exactly.
She pinches the root of her nose.
Truth is always so disappointingly mundane and boring. But I'm glad we got this sorted out. Anything else I can help you with today?
That's all she has to say on the subject. She's been thorough and truthful, as far as we can see. Plaisance is not going to like what you have to tell her. The bookstore closes starting 2100. You'll have to do that tomorrow.
Yeah, I know that. Reaction speed, thank you. I can do this shivers check. Why hasn't her business failed? I think I succeeded that in my first Let's Play. As long as it doesn't take away my health, I'll be okay, I think. But for right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Disco Elysium. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video, but above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.